In a desolate corner of the darkest realm, where the veil between the living and the dead was thin, there existed a graveyard unlike any other. This graveyard was not for ordinary souls, but for monstrous beings whose existence posed a threat to the balance of the universe. And at the heart of this eerie place stood the Seer, a once mortal soul now condemned to be its eternal guardian. Long ago, the Seer had been revered for her ability to glimpse into the future and unveil the secrets of the cosmos. But her gift had come at a price. In her quest for knowledge, she had meddled with forces beyond her understanding, inadvertently unleashing chaos upon the world. For her transgressions, the Seer had been sentenced to an eternity of solitary vigilance in the graveyard of monsters. Stripped of her mortal form, she now roamed the bleak landscape as a specter, clad in a grey cloak that offered little solace from the biting winds that swept across the barren terrain. The graveyard itself was a grim sight to behold. Giant skeletons of horrific monsters littered the ground, their bones bleached by the passage of time. Each creature had once posed a dire threat to the realms of the living, and it was the Seer's duty to ensure that they never rose again. Despite the desolation that surrounded her, the Seer remained resolute in her task. With her staff in hand, its gem glowing softly to ward off the shadows, she patrolled the graveyard ceaselessly. She had no need for rest or sustenance, for in death such mortal concerns no longer plagued her. Yet there were moments when the weight of her solitude bore down upon her like a heavy burden. Memories of her mortal life haunted her, reminders of the choices that had led her to this desolate fate. She wondered if redemption would ever be within her grasp, or if she was doomed to wander the graveyard for all eternity. As the years stretched into centuries, the Seer's resolve never wavered. She watched as empires rose and fell, and as civilizations flourished and crumbled. She witnessed the fleeting beauty of life and the inexorable march of time, all the while guarding the graveyard with unwavering determination. But even in the darkest of nights, a glimmer of hope remained. Deep within her spectral heart, the Seer held on to the belief that one day her penance would be complete. Perhaps then she would be granted the chance to atone for her sins and find peace in the embrace of oblivion. Until that day came, she would continue her vigil, a silent sentinel in the land of the dead, forever bound by duty and fate.